Bien, amigos, 3 asaltos en pesos pluma. All right, fans, here we go. 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner. Standing at 5 feet 9 inches. He weighed in at 145 pounds. Presentando en la esquina azul y pesando 145 libras. His record, 1 win, no losses. Su récord profesional, una victoria sin derrota. De Madrid, España, aquí está Tino Hilarans. And his opponent across la jaula on my left, fighting out of the red corner. He stands at 5 feet 10 inches. He weighed in at 145.7 pounds. Y su oponente en la esquina roja, con un peso de 145.7 libras. His record, 1 win, no losses. 1 win coming by way of submission. Su récord profesional, una victoria sin derrota, con una ganada por la vía de la sumisión de Monterrey, Nuevo León, México. Aquí está Jair, el Lupe Pérez. Y aquí está el referee Raúl Porrata.
Protéjense en todos momentos, obedezcan mis órdenes. Espero una pelea limpia, toquen guantes ahora, regresen a su esquina.
Raúl Porrata, our referee, the tail of the tape, and both guys in the infancy of their careers. Jair Perez at just 20 years of age, similar height and reach, and this one's going to be fought in the featherweight division. And Gil, to get your thoughts, this is unprecedented. 3 brothers on 1 card, and this not only affects the extended Perez family, but Goyito Perez, who's in the main event, he is obviously watching this, paying attention to what's going to happen to his brothers.
There's no doubt in my mind that some of his energy will be drained from this. Hopefully he can channel it to positive energy, though.
This is Jair El Lupe Perez, Ivan El Muchacha Alegre Perez, also on the card later on. So stay with us here on DAZN. We'll bring you all the action from Monterrey. Every fight has a fighter from this city, just to show you the depth and quality of fighters in Monterrey, Nuevo León.
And what's interesting, actually, Max, about Jair Perez in the black shorts is that he used to be over 200 pounds. And he was a big guy. Now here fighting at 145 pounds, and he kind of turned his life around. He was living on the streets. His brother, Goyito, was like, no, you're not going to live this kind of life. And he took him off the streets, and he got him involved in mixed martial arts.
And again, at 20 years of age, we don't know the talent he possesses as he is struggling for the takedown.
Perez has his hands locked right here. Tino trying to dig those underhooks.
Big knee into the midsection by Perez there. El Lupe, born December 12th, El Dia de Guadalupe, and he's from the neighborhood here, which is a tough part of Monterrey. Going to dig in.
Yeah, Perez controlling Tino right here. He has the underhook. He has his head in the temple. He didn't get that takedown, but he did land a big knee and is winning the exchange.
Tino Hilarans fought most recently in M1, where he was victorious, and Vladimir Putin congratulated him. So his career is in his infancy too, but this is a very well-regarded guy, Gil.
Absolutely. To be able to fight internationally at such a young age here in Mexico, feels very confident, been training since 14 years old, and you can see the poise in his stance right here.
Yeah, he started boxing when he was 14, but then he went to Thailand to his mother's family in the Philippines and started practicing Muay Thai and started to develop a more relaxed style of stand-up as opposed to being real tight in the pocket like they do in boxing. And then he started training Sambo and wrestling and BJJ at 19, so he's a well-rounded fighter.
Well-rounded guy. Now they're starting to exchange some blows here in this first round. None quarter given for either one thus far. Feeling out process.
Nice long uppercut by Tino a second ago. Measuring up Perez.
Tino in the southpaw position.
Couple big kicks missing there from Jair Perez.
Perez looks to be like the aggressive fighter, looking to get these exchanges and scoring points, and Tino looking to counter at this moment. Switching from southpaw to conventional, landed some good jabs here in a 1-2, but Perez fires back.
Hilarán says, bring it. And now he's getting a little upper hand with some of those right hands.
And beautiful takedown defense by Tino. Stuffed it. Ate him with a knee on the way out.
Neither fighter looking to show too much to the opponent here. And you hear the chants of El Lupe.
Superman punch not landed.
Not much landing for either one here at the Gimnasio Nuevo León.
And they're smiling at each other.
Two guys from two different worlds here brought together for Combate Americas. Juliana, your thoughts about, I mean, we talk about fighting with your brothers, but we talked to Gil as well about these teammates are your brothers too. So you've been on cards to see that and to have an eye on the Jaula or the cage, wherever it is.
Yeah, and you know, it's always been successful for me when I go to war with my brothers, my training partners, and I'm co-main event, their main event. You know, back in the day when we used to do it like that, I would win and then they would win. You know, it's like you're not going to be outdone and you want to always end on a high note. So it is a very stressful situation, however, because you don't want to, you know, disappoint anyone. And then, let's say, for example, it doesn't go your way, then you got to, you know, go out there and avenge that loss. And just a lot of pressure, you know?
So it's important for Perez here to set the tempo for the Perez family right here. And he gets taken down. Dino catches the kick. Now he's on top. Let's see his ground and pound.
Threat of an armbar here.
Going to slip it in as Guilaran's brought him down from that right leg.
Perez trying to hold that arm so he can swivel out and work the armbar and also stop the ground and pound of Dino. But Dino right here looks like he has decent posture and sneaks in a good elbow here. And another 3, 4 in a row, 5, 6.
He has busted him open here with that one of those elbows, catching that forehead, and it is dripping.
Dino's doing a good job of controlling the hips. Perez wants to get his hips out and swivel to the side and become perpendicular, but Dino's doing a good job pinching his legs together, not letting those hips go, and posturing up and landing some great ground and pound.
And Perez is just leaking out of his forehead. Oh, nice stiff right hand from Dino.
And Guilaran allows Perez to get up, and there's a really sluggish throws from Perez, and Guilaran sees blood, smells blood, and goes for the kill. A bloody mess.
And he doesn't choose to pass, you know. He was like, I'll just stay right here and ground and pound you right in your guard.
And they're going to have to look at that cut. It is gruesome.
In jiu-jitsu, one would try to pass the guard, but in MMA, it's good to keep that control, like Juliana said, and you can ground and pound from that position. Very well done by Tino today in this round.
Yeah, and you'll notice that his corner is the main event here tonight.
So many guys involved in so many ways on these cards.
Big old nasty cut on the forehead of Perez, right down the center.
We'll see if they can stop the bleeding here as best they can.
Oh,
but
that's deep. That's deep.
And it was like a flurry of elbows by Guilaran that caught him, and this is how it all started.
Right hand, or left hand because he's in southpaw, then a right, excuse me.
And this is almost stored a step back.
That's the elbow. Slice him open right away.
Very good technique by Tino. Anyone that controls your wrist, you can just break down your elbow and land the elbows on the face. Good ground and pound MMA technique. We've seen this before. It's great to see Tino, well-rounded mixed martial artist.
All right, big moment here for El Lupe Perez to get
another interesting fact about Tino, though, is that he's got victories in National Wrestling, Sambo, and BJJ, and he's a BJJ champion from 145 pounds to 170 pounds. So, I mean, he's fought up, he's fought down.
And that's how it is nowadays. Tino has been training since the age of 14, well-rounded. These guys are just evolving.
Check that kick. It's beautiful.
He's been to the boxing career starting at the age of 14. That's where he got his nickname, No Mercy, in English.
Perez needs to not get in his own head here. You know, he knows he's cut. He's seen his own blood. He knows that he's probably down around. He can't let that affect him as he comes out here for round 2.
Yeah, Perez had some great moments. His biggest mistake was just getting stuck on his back, trying to close his guard and work the arm bar and work the submission. What he needs to focus on is getting back to his feet when he does get taken down, because Dino obviously has some phenomenal jiu-jitsu.
And Juliana, it's the defense of Guilaran is doing well here, because Perez unable to get that really clean, solid shot, despite throwing a lot.
Right, and you know, once you come out of those rounds, you're really explosive and you're ready to go. You got about 20 to 30 seconds of explosion. You need to use that explosion to set up your takedowns and use those hands to get inside, take him down definitively, and then get on top and stay on top and work your own game. But that's a lot easier said than done.
Just trying to close that distance is Perez, knowing full well he has lost that first round. Good news for him is the blood has not been an issue here in round 2, falling into his eyes. Good job by the crew to seal that up temporarily.
Dino's been very elusive this round, not mixing up too much in the pocket. knows he's ahead, just making sure he lands the clean punches here and staying out of harm's way, letting Perez waste his energy and waiting for the right opportunity to strike.
Guilaran's going for quality. Right now, Perez going for quantity. Lots of kicks, lots of punches thrown. Not many catching the Spaniard.
Yeah, the Spaniard's distance, he's controlling the distance really well. Looks like Perez cannot really reach him and hit the target like he was doing in the first round.
Grabs that leg, and now he misses as he throws a rare punch here in the second.
And Perez always coming forward.
Neither trying the rangefinder, and Perez drags him down, gets that ankle, and puts him out.
And this is where he wants to be. This is where he will find the most success, but he let him get back to his feet, and now he's reversed on the cage, and he looks like Dino was trying to go for a guillotine, but
yeah,
Perez had some good head position there. Popped his head right back up.
Back to the center of the jaula.
Dino did a great job of, on his way down, digging the underhook, which allows you to pop right back to your feet, came back to his knees and was able to just basically neutralize that takedown. But great job by Perez to catch that kick and get a takedown.
Round 2 of 3, we'll see how the fitness holds up. Guilaran's looking pretty solid there, not grasping for air. Perez at times did, but he looks like he's got his wind back.
And I love how easily Perez flicks those high kicks up there. He just flicks it up. It looks effortless. And he goes in with a flurry of punches, nice head position. He can't let him off here.
And I think in order for Perez to be successful, he needs to fight this type of fight, which is come forward, be aggressive, a bunch of quantity, way more punches. Now he might be in a guillotine here. Let's see what's going on.
Oh, he's doing the right thing, trying to get that shoulder pressure.
Gets out.
Pops his head out. But like you were saying, Gilbert, nice and gritty, grimy. That's the kind of fight sometimes that you have to do. It might not look pretty, might not look the most technical, but you got to stay aggressive and you got to stay in people's faces so that they can't be thinking about what you're going to do to counter.
It is 1-0 in his Combate Americas career. This is the Combate debut for Guilaran's. Going to go back to May. Victory over Jesus Blanco via submission of round 1 for Jair Perez.
Nice overhand for Lupe Perez.
Not much action here in round 2. A little roundhouse kick that does not catch Guilaran's from Perez.
I think this is Tino's round to lose. Perez is putting the pressure here, landing a few strikes, has the audience cheering behind him, and those barrage of punches, it really means a lot to the judges here.
Definitely. Perez in the Mexican-colored shorts is putting it on him and has definitely stole the round, in my opinion.
Much more output from Perez. And I like how you phrase that, Gil. It's his round to lose because he's not doing a lot. Perez is doing the work, and he might be in position to take round 2.
Absolutely. It looks like Tino has the range, but he's just not firing off. Even looks a little bit tired at this moment.
Guilaran's does not look well. He's just staring there, no action. Eyes getting a little sleepy even. And it's Perez taking the center. He's pushed him against the corner.
Is he playing possum?
But you can play possum for so long, Juliana.
Yeah. But I just saw him. See, I saw him kind of look over at his corner and kind of give a nod. And I'm like, is he doing this on purpose?
Well, it may cost him this round. May not cost him the fight, but certainly the output for Perez making a difference here.
Perez eats that high kick. A little bit of a telegraph takedown, but I think he's going to get it.
He does.
Gets the takedown.
The final second of round 2. Big time play there for Perez.
Perez might have stole that round. Looked like he was down and out at the end of the first. Ate some mean elbows. His corner got that cut together and was the more aggressive fighter this round.
Ooh, now he has a second cut. I didn't see that second cut and after round 1. I only saw that first one. But now he's got looks like a capital letter T on his forehead.
Yeah, it does. It looks like Stonehenge up there on his forehead. And again, the crew taking care. And that's the biggest problem, it would appear, for Perez, making sure that cut does not complicate his vision. Gil, if you look at that, I mean, that gets in your eyes. That's a problem.
Yeah, that is a very good thing to point out right there, Max, because not only can it affect his eyes, it could affect the reffing, it could affect the judging, it could affect the doctor's opinion on this cut. You don't want a guy bleeding all over the place.
Juliana, when you see or sense your own blood, does that ever make a difference in your fights?
I've never seen my own blood.
Yes.
But I've always wondered.
All right. Does he look tired, or is maybe it's
giving some nice respect for one another?
I believe both gentlemen are tired at this moment, but who is more tired right here? Who has more energy and who has more in the tank right now to push? And it looks like Perez is here.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to want to let anyone down. especially since he's the first brother on the card for tonight out of 3. 3 Perez's in one night. What a treat for the fans.
Unofficially, it would appear that round 3, everything to fight for here. Guilarans clearly the winner of round 2. We seem to think, I mean, round 1, round 2 probably going Perez's way.
But you could even see it in Tino's stance now. His hands are up. He's more focused. He knows he needs to win this round. And there he is with the beautiful elbow.
The thing is that I think he's trying to wait for some one-hitter quitter and it be like spectacular, like a massive elbow. Or I saw him come in with like a Muay Thai uppercut type elbow before too. I think he's like trying to make it something special.
Good left there by Guilarans. Throws Perez's head back. See if they can close that gap. To your point, Gil, it's where Perez can be aggressive and meet him 3/4 of the way.
Yeah, that's what Perez is looking to do here. Put the pressure and just really sell it. And again, quantity over quality sometimes is the way to go in mixed martial arts. And he has the tank for it, and he needs to get on it now.
Yeah.
Would appear to be the fitter fighter, but that could change depending on how much energy you have used to this point. 3 minutes.
Perez can't let this fight slip from his fingers. He's so close to just pouring it on him in this last round. You got 3 minutes left to go. That's all it's going to take. You know, you can do anything for 3 minutes.
And what a responsibility, Gil, because not only he wants to win, get this crowd going, but he wants to set the table for both his brothers later tonight.
Absolutely, he needs to set the tempo here, and a loss is not the tempo he wants to set. He wants to be victorious, and he wants to show overcoming adversity and show the heart and that energy the Perez family has.
3 brothers on one card. Unprecedented here from Combate America's big night for the Perez brothers, and they want to have a winning record. They would love to go undefeated if possible. Right now, Jair Perez has put himself in a position to get that and keep that intact.
Nice jab, very accurate from Guilarans. Nice jab again, nice stiff jab. When in doubt, jab out.
Halfway through round number 3. Left grazes Guilarans. Little feint, and then the left again.
Nice.
Looking to find that good spot.
Guilarans, you know, parried Perez's hand and then just came over the top with his own punch. That was nice.
Guilarans puts him out there defensively, but he doesn't get caught. He is egging on Perez to bring it. And then the action to the reaction.
Guilarans should not let this fight go into the judge's hands. You know, he needs to do more work, in my opinion, if he wants to decisively win this fight.
Yeah, Tino may be the more accurate fighter, but output sometimes overweighs that. And judges look, they have different types of opinions. You know, sometimes judges are looking for the guy who has more of an output. And I think Perez here is trying to win it that way, and he needs to get on it, though, to really sell it here and really put that pressure. And he's having success when he's coming in with the barrage of punches. Not just one at a time, but 3 punches followed by a kick and pressing against the cage is the way to go.
Guilarans waiting to counterpunch, but he might run out of time to do it because there haven't been enough opportunities. And you're going to give a lot of credit for Perez to not put himself in that situation.
Right, he's sticking to his own game plan, and Guilarans is just trying to counter. But to me, Perez is the one doing all the work.
But look at Guilarans. He puts his head there. He is saying, bring it. Look, I'm putting it within range. Throw.
I think he should throw.
I would agree. Oh, and there he is throwing now. Perez connects with a straight right and follows it up with a left hook.
Nice slaps on a guillotine. Guilarans, it's tight.
He's underneath there. This is going to be tough to slip
Perez
out. Now
is
he's
fighting
out.
that hand. He's out, pops his head out. And he just needs to, like, go for broke here. There's about over 30 seconds left in the 3rd and final round. He needs to just go for it.
Everything to fight for here. 35 seconds to go. The blood's starting to drip again from the forehead, and you would expect that as deep of a wound that is. Looking for the takedown, unable to secure it.
Nice defense by Perez.
Hitting that big left knee. Time running short for both these fighters. Final impression here. Some of Perez's blood now on the face of Guilarans. Almost like a William Wallace swipe, instead of blue paint, it's red blood. Up against the cage. And that's that. I don't know.
Beautiful.
How do you see that third round, Gil?
Very competitive round, but I got to give it to Perez out of aggression. I think that last exchange with about 45 seconds left, where Tino was calling him on and he got it. He landed a good three-piece combination, landed right on the chin of Tino. He did threaten the guillotine, but Perez, just on aggression and the will to want to take this fight and the will to want to win, I give it to Perez that last round and possibly the second as well.
How do you view it, Juliana?
I got to agree with Gil there. You know, I think that Perez was always coming forward. You know, even though he was down and out with the cuts, he kept stalking him. He kept trying to take the fight to him. He was a more active fighter.
That was the big moment of the first round. Where
the first round definitely I would give to Guilherme.
But that was as active as he was. And
exactly.
then Guilherme waited as if he knew he had that first round, but rounds 2 and 3 may have gotten away from him.
For sure. He definitely, I think, in my opinion, he let it slip through his fingers.
That's unfortunate. We'll see if that is the case. We'll go to the judges here shortly for a decision, a rare decision as we would get on Combate Americas, Gil.
That's a very tough decision for the judges to have to make. I'm glad I'm just commentating tonight and I'm not a judge.
Nice big old 1-2.
There's that final combination.
Jab.
I would love for both of you guys to be judges. I think you'd be great at that, as good as you are commentators, but I'm happy you're here.
I'll tell you what,
side with me.
They need some fighters to be judges, that's for sure. They need some of these judges to have some fight experience, because some of these guys, I'm like, what are you watching?
All right, this is a big moment, not just for this fight, but how it will affect the rest of the card, where Jair's two brothers will be competing, including Eric Perez, in the main event. And great job by the crew there to limit the amount of blood that Jair Perez. That is a big part of what's been able to happen here. Everyone's smiling, but only one will be smiling in a few moments. Will it be a Lupe? Will it be no mercy? Let's find out. Go back up to the Jaula. Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, tras de 3 rounds, tenemos una decisión dividida. After 3 rounds of action, we have a split decision. Here are the score totals. El juez Gustavo Cantú tiene la pelea 29-28, 29-28 a favor de Tino Guilherme. El juez Israel Guzmán vio la pelea 29-28, 29-28 a favor de Jair Perez. Y el juez Abelardo Treviño anota 29-28, 29-28 a favor del ganador de Monterrey, Jair El Lupe.
For exclusive Combate Americas merchandise, just go to shop.combateamericas.com.
Stop pretending.
5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. Bien amigos, tres asaltos en pesos gallo. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands at 5 feet 6 inches. He weighed in at 136 pounds. Presentando en la esquina sur, tiene un peso de 136 libras. His record: 6 wins, 4 losses. 2 wins coming by way of knockout and 1 by submission. Tiene un récord de 6 victorias y 4 derrotas, con 2 ganadas por la vía del knockout y 1 por sumisión. De Tijuana, Baja California, México, aquí está Eduardo, el Pube Alvarado Osuna. And his opponent across La Jaula, fighting out of the red corner to my left. He stands at 5 feet 7 inches. He weighed in at 136 pounds. Y su oponente en la esquina roja, pesando 136 libras. His record: 7 wins, 5 losses. 3 wins coming by way of knockout and 2 by submission. Con un récord de 7 victorias y 5 derrotas. Tiene 3 ganadas por la vía del knockout y 2 por sumisión. De Monterrey, Nuevo León, México, Alan Beche Cantú García. Aquí está el referee Jason Herzog.
John, over the rules in the back. There were no final questions from you, red. There were no final questions from you, blue. Do you want to touch gloves? Do it now. I'm not ready to fight.
All right, to the tail of the tape, and this will be at 135, both coming at 136, identical reaches, 1-inch height advantage for Cantú Garcia. Jason Herzog, your referee. Second fight of the night here. Combate Americas coming to Monterrey. We imagine we're going to see El Pube looking pretty sharp, fighting in September. Teammate of Jose Alday, the champion.
Yeah, Alvarado trains with Chris Carrilloso, who actually fought for the UFC title at the time as their coach out there and a great Muay Thai fighter. So look for him to use his Muay Thai type striking. Just like we saw that front kick, look for the leg kicks. Look for him to try to use his leg kicks.
Oh, it's over! Oh, it's over! And Pube's out!
And like I was gonna say, but also Alan Cantú fights and trains with Levi Marroquin, who's the main event here tonight, and that guy's also a stud in his own right. So when you're training with killers all day, stuff like this happens. Magic,
wow.
dynamite,
Absolutely.
dynamite, dynamite.
Beautiful.
Monterrey is 2-0.
Starched him.
You could hear that rip through the Gimnasio Nuevo León. And Eduardo El Pube Alvarado, that is up there. One of the quickest knockouts we have seen here or anywhere.
Yeah, he just put his head down, went straight into the pocket, started throwing a freaking flurry of punches, and one landed right on the butt, and that's all it takes. It only takes one.
Big exchange. Let's check that replay out.
Well, Beche Cantú needed a win. He got it. Eduardo El Pube rushing back into La Jaula, and it's backfired for him as he will go to 1-1. Both fighters at 1-1, but one feeling a whole lot better about his situation at Combate Americas. It's that man. He doesn't know what hit him.
Yeah, 2-0 for Monterrey, Mexico right now.
That came straight up Route 1. Lightning fast from Beche Cantú.
And Alvarado just beat UFC contender Roman Salazar, so he just steals the momentum.
Let's check out the replay, Gil.
Put it on the clock. Bang!
Oh, it was the left hook by Cantú that landed beautiful, and then a follow-up.
Oh my gosh, his eyeballs are rolling.
Just stepped
left
in.
Hook.
1-2.
Right on the chin.
Left hook.
1-2, left
3.
hook, and then follows with a nasty couple of right hands right on the, man.
El Pube is upright and looks alert, but man, that was frightening.
Nice stoppage by Jason Herzog. Saved his life.
That's mixed martial arts here. We got 4-ounce gloves. They get through. You got to protect your chin, and if it lands, you'll go to sleep. These are 125-pounders putting people to sleep.
But they're heavy hitters, you know?
Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, tenemos el tiempo 26 segundos en el primer round with a time of 26 seconds in round number 1. El ganador por knockout de Monterrey, Alan Beche Cantú García.
Stay connected to the fastest growing sport in the world. From the comfort of your own home, Combate Americas brings you the most exciting fights, the latest in MMA news, features, and mucha más acción. Follow Combate Americas on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to watch Combate Americas on Access TV, Univision, and TUDN. Combate Americas, mucha más acción.
Hey everyone, this is Lupe Contreras, the voice of La Jaula de Combate Americas. I wanted to check in with you and show you my favorite quarantine spot. It is the hammock in my backyard. But most importantly, I wanted to check in and remind you to stay safe, stay healthy, keep an eye on one another, and remember, during this new normal, this new world, we're all family.
For exclusive Combate Americas merchandise, just go to shop.combateamericas.com.
All right, fans, here we go. 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Bien, amigos, 3 asaltos en pesos ligeros. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, standing at 6 feet 1 inch. He weighed in at 155 pounds. Presentando en la esquina azul, pesando 155 libras. He is undefeated in his campaign. His record 6 wins, no losses. 3 wins coming by way of knockout and 1 by submission. Con un récord de 6 victorias sin derrota. Tiene 3 ganadas por la vía del knockout y 1 por sumisión. De la Ciudad de México, demos la bienvenida al invicto Daniel Selhuber. His opponent across La Jaula, fighting out of the red corner. He stands at 5 feet 7 inches. He weighed in at 155.6 pounds. Y su oponente en la esquina roja, con un peso de 155.6 libras. His record 3 wins, 1 loss. 2 wins coming by way of and 1 by submission. Su récord profesional, 3 victorias y 1 derrota, con 2 ganadas por la vía del knockout y 1 por sumisión. De Monterrey, Nuevo León, México, aquí está Salvador CrossFit Isar. Referee in charge now to give instructions, el referee Héctor Molina.
Peleadores al centro, peleadores. Peleadores al centro. Caballeros, obedecen mis instrucciones en todo momento y se protegen en todo momento. Cuando digo stop, dejen de pelear, pero no dejen de protegerse hasta que yo los separe. Bien, toquen guantes, sueltan los dos.
Okay, there is our official, Hector Molina. Intriguing matchup, and this tail of the tape begs paying attention to. There you see a 6-inch gap in height. There's also a 6-inch gap. Daniel Selhuber, his career in diapers at 19, and a big 9-inch reach advantage. This one in the lightweight division.
Alisar got a victory against Abraham Orlano via TKO, and he said that Daniel Golden Boy Selhuber will not be able to wrestle with him and that he won't be able to stop Salvador's wrestling.
Boy, those are words. Let's see if he can walk the walk. Selhuber with 2 big kicks to start it. Intriguing to see the communication between Selhuber and his coach, Raul Romero, a limitation of too much coaching, but he put the kid in the position to take care of business.
I mean, he was out on that first knee, and then he just fell right into it. He's headlocking here. Now he finally gets the whizzer.
Wow, he's all arms and leg skill, and he's using that to his advantage.
Trying to go for it.
It's playing out exactly just like we thought it, but there was no filling out process. Little hit below the belt.
Bloody nose for Isad, and there'll be 5 minutes for Selhuber.
But just like you said, Isad came straight out for the takedown, but the Golden Boy with a huge kick in the process. Big scuffle going around.
I was about to, someone just tuned in at this very second. You see him on his back rubbing his privates. You're like, what am I watching? It's Combate Americas.
That's right.
And we don't want to make light of it. We've all dealt with it. Juliana, no, not so much. But me and Gil doing, you know.
Hey, it happens in every sport, but that's why we got our cups on.
Well, sometimes it just happens at the schoolyard when you don't have a cup. And it stings. But we'll see how that affects, because, again, Isad came out guns a-blazing for the takedown. Let's see if he tries that again.
You know, in Isad's defense, he's the shorter fighter and trying to kick high against the tall Daniel.
It's a big target if you can get close enough.
Right, and sometimes you got to do what you can to get inside. You know, you got to Mike Tyson your way in, and sometimes that means accidentally hitting below the belt. Oh, anytime he picks up that knee, it just is right on his face. It's like all he has to do is just lift up his leg.
He's missed an opportunity to sweep that planted leg, so we stay on our feet here.
But able to close the distance, digging the underhook and pressing Daniel against the Jaula is a good thing for him. He's scoring points here, and beautiful reversal, no!
Tried for a lat drop, got put on his back.
No, it didn't work. Now Selhuber in the world of Salvador Isad.
And this is exactly where Salvador Isad wants to fight. He said, this guy cannot wrestle with me.
But Daniel is also a purple belt, and he has a long leg, and people with long legs tend to be better off their backs when it comes to the grappling game. But the side mount of Isad now is a dominant position, and he's looking across to the crucifix here with the shin on the bicep.
Stuck in a crucifix position. Daniel looking to reverse it. Just straight brute strength.
Got to get his arm out of there. He
brute
does.
strength.
And Isad sticking to the wrestling, sticking to him like a leech is the great thing to do.
Isad must feel a little bit disrespected. This is a guy who's 3-1 in his professional career, but all the talk about Selhuber, the Golden Boy, by name and by the way we're viewing him right now, they're high expectations, but that can change in an instant.
Well, they call him the Golden Boy because he's got a perfect record.
Will he change his nickname if he loses?
That's a very
We'll have
good
to ask
question.
him that.
About that.
We'll ask Yvette. Maybe Yvette Hernandez can ask him after the fight.
So far, it's been very impressive that he decided to wrestle this whole time. To be able to keep this pressure and to wrestle for 15 minutes straight is going to be a difficult thing for him to do. But people can do it. Now he has a body lock, and he's sticking to him. And if you're being aggressive here, though Daniel's being defensive, he's still losing the fight. He's not getting taken down, not getting held down, but he's still losing because Isad is putting the pressure here and scoring points against the Jaula.
And some good knees into that inner leg of Selhuber. And now the takedown attempt. Selhuber keeps his balance and goes for the guillotine. And he's got it in there. Does he have it in enough?
Folds Isad.
Doesn't have that left arm helping out. Big knee.
Body lock from Isad. He needs to get him off of the Jaula, off of the cage, and get him out in the open so that he can do inside trip, outside trip, get his takedown, because that's where he's going to see the most success. But he slaps on a guillotine of his own, and he's really going for it. That arm is stuck inside, and although you can choke somebody like that.
That's deep. Locked in on the guillotine, and Selhuber in a fight to remain golden.
If he can switch it to a regular guillotine, that'd be even better.
Wrapping around the waist
wrapped
here.
him out, and his face turning tomato red.
Too much space between his arm and his shoulder.
Now that he's in the guard, there's no way to hop out. The only way is to pull his head out, which he did.
Hats off to the kid. And now looking for an armbar potentially.
And he needs to use the cage to help him.
Very adept on his back is Isad.
His arm is deep. And you got to be wary of that when you're such a long guy. You got to be wary of your limbs. But nice ground and pound. He comes in over the top, big, huge right hands. He's throwing a flurry of punches. He's like, you're not armbarring me, dude.
He doesn't have to be that close to make contact because those arms are long for days.
Right, but he does need to be careful that he doesn't get caught. Triangle attempt.
Good posturing up by Daniel, the Golden Boy. Great ground and pound and good awareness. Isad with some very good attacks from his back. But Daniel, the Golden Boy, able to pull his head out of that guillotine, and now starting to find his distance in ground and pound and starting to realize the pattern of Isad's back game.
Isad needs to reverse his position. He can't stay here because he's getting teed off on. He needs to take a punch to get an underhook, to get the reversal, and get on top. Because
Yes,
right now,
I
he's
agree.
not.
Isad needs to use his jiu-jitsu to get back to his feet.
Right.
He's trying these submissions too much. He's 0 for 8 on them. I'm just making that number up, but he hasn't been able to get any of them. He needs to get distance and get up.
Zellhuber taking this round by the throat late. Blood in the nose of Isad, blood on the right eyebrow. The kid was tested, but he responded in a big way. And now Isad looking for potentially a new plan to start round number 2.
And Zellhuber is just so long. His coaches just slapped him across the face to wake him up. He's very exhausted, but I think he's got what it takes to come out there hard in round 2. Here comes a replay. Big, nasty knee right on the chin. Plum tie, another knee right to the gut. Slaps on a guillotine. And Isad does a good job of defending. Gets out of there, gets the body lock. Zellhuber gets caught in his own guillotine, head and arm triangle, or head and arm guillotine, excuse me. But pops out, gets out, defends that, and just goes in with a barrage of punches and just lays it on him.
Now, I want to say in Isad's defense, he did a very good body lock going for the trip, but when you fighting a guy so tall, you can lift them up and their toes are still hitting the ground. I've had that trouble with tall fighters. You pick them up in a double and their feet are still on the ground. Usually you just need to get their feet off just a centimeter or inch, but that height is making him have a hard time scoring those takedowns.
And like we say, inches is everything. This fight is a game of inches. This sport is a game of inches, and every inch counts.
Round number 2, the statuesque figure of Daniel Zellhuber. Zellhuber win that round, guys? Or is it closer?
I believe so.
It may be a little closer than we think, but it was close. Zellhuber with a big flurry to finish.
Yes, I think that flurry on top, that ground and pound really stole it. He popped his head out of that guillotine. A very competitive fight up to that point.
Isad has got the right idea, though. He needs to get him taken down, take his long limbs away from him, and put his own ground and pound on him. And he has to get inside and use those hands to set up the takedown.
Isad closing the distance, but catching a lot of fists on the way in.
Nice elbows, nice Muay Thai type of stand-up from Zellhuber. Nice reversal. Uses that underhook beautifully to reverse Isad on the cage.
Little Muay Thai clinch for a moment, and that certainly favors Zellhuber. He has that Muay Thai clinch again, and he is he's flying in.
Isad cannot let Zellhuber control him by the back of the head. He can't let that
he
happen.
got him. He got him with that right knee, and it could be lights out. Isad turtles up, and he is getting all sorts of blows. Left, right, left.
Zellhuber's all over him, smelling the blood in the water.
And there's a lot of blood.
Got his arm trapped.
Isad just holding on to that arm, trying to run.
For exclusive Combate Americas merchandise, just go to shop.combateamericas.com.
Stop pretending.
everyone, this is Lupe Contreras, the voice of La Jaula de Combate Americas. I wanted to check in with you and show you my favorite quarantine spot. It is the hammock in my backyard. But most importantly, I wanted to check in and remind you to stay safe, stay healthy, keep an eye on one another, and remember, during this new normal, this new world, we're all family.
Great striking, great takedown defense, uses his forearms to defend the takedown and countering with some vicious elbows, some terrific long knees. Eventually just wore out the body and the face of Isad.
We can get excited about this guy now. This is, I mean, look, we saw him in April. He beat Jose Luis Medrano, and now he beats Isad, and now we have a young prospect to circle and say, hey, when he's on, you got to watch him.
Definitely, Daniel, the Golden Boy. We're going to be looking to see what he's going to do in 2019. A Combate Americas rising star and an exciting fighter.
Very exciting stuff, and this was it. He was undefeated Muay Thai, and when those kind of skill set came into view, it was all the difference.
And you could see him putting his Muay Thai techniques into play here. That's the Thai clinch, using those forearms to defend Isad from closing that distance and just clinching and knee after knee after knee, going right back down to that clinch, and again, using those forearms to stop him. And finally, he lands that big knee that wobbles him and flattens him out. Isad tries to wrap him up, but he has, Daniel, the Golden Boy, has one arm free and just ground and pounds him, and Jason has to jump in and stop that fight.
Zellhuber, who began fighting to overcome bullying, but who's the bully now? Looking good, smile that can light up the room and the skills to match it.
Excelente preparación física.
And hats off for the preparation to get him ready. Let's take it upstairs. Jimmy Letta Jr. in La Jaula.
Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, tenemos el tiempo 1 minuto 32 segundos en round número 2. The time 1 minute 32 seconds in round number 2. Our referee stops the contest due to strikes. Winner by way of technical knockout. El ganador por knockout técnico de la Ciudad de México, Daniel Zellhuber.
Thanks for watching the best of Combate Americas.